and we are back with another discussion on philosophy. Now, we have reached the stage of the Upanishads. They also contemplate and focus upon the idea of the self. We have established this in our previous videos that the Rigvedic Aryans, they were focused more outwards. That is, they were worshipping the forces of nature or the permanent forces of nature as they saw and perceived it. After centuries of doing so, centuries of sticking to the sacrificial cult, then comes the age of the Upanishads, and by the virtue of our society being a living organism with elements of self criticism and self introspection, we came to different theologies, different changes, different thoughts. So by the time we come to the Upanishads, we focus more on the inward, that is the self, because now the realization had dawned upon people that sacrifices were of no material gains. During the Rig Veda, it was necessary. Your absolute commitment to God was mandatory. But by the time we reach Upanishads, due to a lot of other factors, Varna rigidities and all that, people wanted more power to themselves to practice their own faith. And hence, we see a lot of other spiritual startups such as Buddhism, Jainism that give more power to the people to practice the faith yourself. Now, since we are talking about the self, that led to a lot of contemplation. People wanted exact answers with absolute certainty. How do you define the self? All right. So yes, but before we get into that, there are different. So there is an Upanishad that goes by the name of Kena Upanishad, in which there are some interesting questions that I would like to read out. These are English translations. At whose wish does the mind sent forth proceed on its errand? At whose command does the first breath go forth? At whose wish do we utter this speech? What god directs the eye or the ear? All right. Now, since they were talking about the self, so they started contemplating about the sensory organs such as eyes and the ears, breathing,